there, and welcome to week 15 review, start of the playoffs, and I really wish I had it. Welcome, Craig. How's it going?
Good evening, Johnny. How are you? Yeah, sore one for you, I believe, this week. If it makes you feel any better, you know how bad my home league was. So, you know.
Yeah, I know, but I've not been able to sit doing my arse, got to scalp that much. But
yeah,
we'll quickly go over the team of the week. Carlton Crew again with a whopping 276 points, and they're obviously in the Scarabray Cup, which does help.
They're looking good for the East.
I know. I wonder if I'll be able to just send a picture of the trophy and send it all the way to the other side of the world. It'd be quite good.
Well, it's starting to look like it might be going that way. You're certainly a favourite to get to the final, but
49 points of McCarthy helps.
It's that time of the year now, isn't it, where you know, it's if I use sorry to go back to it, but if I use the home league as an example, you know, the last 6 weeks I scored over 100 points. It's non-PPR, and you know, I've scored over 100 points for the last 6 weeks, which is massive. And then you had the playoffs, and I couldn't even break 60. You have Jacobs goes down, Taylor's out, Barkley does nothing, Prescott does nothing, Baker Mayfield throws for 1,000,000 yards, and Evans, you know, Mike Evans gets 11 points. It just, you know, and that's what happens in playoffs. You know, that's the playoff fantasy, and it's why we all love the game. And it's why we all hate the game too. Do you know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
So
that
well done for Carlton Crew. It was, you know, they've got the right guys at the right places. If you look at their bench too, it's pretty solid as well. So good start to the Scarabray Cup for them.
Obviously, that's the standard of the Scarabray. We'll go through leagues in a minute. So obviously, they've got 276 points. Second behind them is 255, so it's not far behind.
Yeah, no, I mean
it's 244, but
it's definitely not over for the kind of 260s and the 255s and the 240s and even I would say down to 220. It's not over, but you know, the likes of you know, Leicester Tigers, they're on 153.76. I'm sure we'll see it when we get there, but you know, that's harsh because they've been going so well all season. You know, Warriors 179.
I know, like the teams have been crazy. Like, I mean,
and that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah. But you know, whereas in the West Conference, it's so close.
It's playoff football, and you know, the West, if you look at the West, what's the leader on about 224?
224, yeah. So there's like so many teams on 200. Everybody's in it. I know, it's mental.
One big week, everybody's in it, you know, everybody. And then I bet you there'll be teams that finish, you know, that are in the main playoffs, 4th, 5th, and 6th, that have scored a lot more than 227 points or 224, and they'll be looking at this going, ah!
Yeah, well, I think Chris Budge actually had quite a big score actually, but yeah, he's in the playoffs, but not the Scarabray.
Not the Scara. So I mean, at the end of the day, it does look like, you know, I would certainly say that Carlton Crew are very much favourites to be representing the East in the first ever Scarabray Cup and the first ever Orkney Super Bowl, shall I say? But the West is absolutely wide open, and you know, crazy. Everybody's in it. So, you know, there's 16. Is it 16 that are through? Yeah.
3 from each division. So that'll be
12. So, you know, there's 12 guys there that are all be fancying their chances still. And I'll tell you who'll be most upset out of that, all of them in the West, though, as the South London Rebels, you know. I mean, they've been knocking in 270, 280 week after week after week after week, and they're sitting there on 200. But the good news is you've got to make it up.
I know. Well, the thing is, that'll bring us to the next one in a minute with the Rousey Cup final. But of course, some teams, not mentioning Dave in particular, forgot to change his team because he thought it was in the bye and forgot it was in the Rousey Cup and the Scarabray. So he actually had Nico Collins on the team.
Oh, that's harsh. That's a proper rookie error right there, man. You're in the main event and you're in the cup, and because you got a bye in the league playoffs. Oh, ow.
And he had Jackson Smith and Jigba on the bench.
Oh.
So, and obviously, just to make it the score, he's actually losing by just under 40 points, and Jigba got about 20 points. So it would have been really close. But given Tony a near 40-point lead going into the
that's a bad score from Tony, you know. From his team, that's a bad score. He won't score that again.
No. I guess it's
You know?
a bad score for Victor Warriors as well. Like, they've been one of the highest scoring teams as well. But
Yeah, I mean, but they're going to need to go 260,
so,
270 to even have a chance, I think, now, you know. Which is
well, they
not to
did
say they can't
260
do
week
that, but
13. Week 13 they did it, so you never know. But it was definitely a sore one. Sorry for bringing
yeah,
that up to you, but it was a sore one.
long way to go from there. But yeah, the final's still over. It is still on. I mean, we're just assuming that that South London Rebels are going to score well. I mean, they might get another 200, in which case it's wide open.
Yeah, so obviously we'll get onto the playoffs. Obviously, Leeds Lasso's the problem here. It doesn't tell me the team names. So I'm going to try and remember off the top of my bloody head. But it was a great win. It was a great win for Jack. 182. But that's the more point. If I'd played any of the other two teams in the playoff, I'd have beat them this week.
Would you have? Yeah, it's a bit
Because I
harsh,
ended up with 194, but coming up against Sean, who just absolutely scalped my arse.
Again,
the only time I was ahead in that match was when Addison scored 32 points. And every after that, I just went completely the pot, like, because my team just didn't show up the rest of it. But
right, well, let's go and have a look at your team then. Let's have a look at. I mean, I'm interested to see here. I'm interested to see here throughout the games how many folk were going into the weekend absolutely cheesing because they'd started their Raiders players, and I'm interested to see how many folk were going into the playoffs kicking themselves, going into the weekend kicking themselves because they benched their Raiders players.
On my team, I came up against Jared Goff, Christian McCaffrey, CD Lamb, Devontae Adams, Ray McBride, Mostert, Sanders, TJ Watt.
Yeah, I mean that's you've run into a doozy, Johnny. You know, and Barkley's no showed up for you.
I know, again, or Hall again.
Yeah, Barkley's been showing up all year. I mean, Barkley's one of the reasons you're there. You know, he's been doing great for me as well, but then he's no showed up this week. AJ Brown's no showed up. Ajax no showed up. Playoff football, you know, see if that happens in week 7, you take your loss and you move on.
Yeah, it's a bit of a sore, but hey, I've had a good year.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, I mean, and that's listen. You're in Division 2. Do you know what I mean? You're going to be in Division 2, and you know, fifth place isn't terrible if you can go and win this week. And in the other game, Whitworth Rockstars, they've knocked Warner Bay Warriors out the park. You know, I mean, what Warner Bay's ran into a Dak week. You know, Dak, Eckler, London, the weather scunnered London, to be fair. You know, so that's
obviously Pitt got murdered on the field. Obviously, he did lose Chase, so it matches out. But he picked up Seymour White and played him, did Jack. That's 21 points for White.
And and you know that's a clever move. You know, where known Jacobs is out. You know, absolutely not a daft move. And you pick him up, you play him. Julian Palmer as well. I mean, look at all of those. I mean, that was garbage time that he got his points in. You know, but every point counts.
All points. So you know, what I mean, especially in fantasy. No, 24 points for likely. He still had Davis playing with no points.
Yeah, he's got a goose egg from Davis, and he's got Hopkins there not doing a whole lot, but his defence has done really well too. And that's, you know, that's the thing. You only need to beat the team that you're playing. And when the team that you're playing hits 118 points, well, you're in the next round, aren't you?
Well, that's by far the lowest score. They're the second highest scoring team in the division.
Yeah.
And they come up 118. That's worse than mine. Sorry, Tigers, but that is a sore one. Unfortunately, I'll get to play them next year.
Well, that's that. And so.
And in the bottom division, obviously, have to mention it. Sorry, Arthur. Score correction given Stephen. The Laxdale Legends an extra 1.5 points in the score correction today. Means you lose from 211.16 to 210.81. That's sorer than the Lagerville Lemons game earlier on the season. And I have actually messaged Sleeper to see if there's a way when they do the next update to turn the fucking thing off. Like,
well, that would be nice.
Stick with the original score because it's a bloody shame. Because
it's not fair. I mean, it's not fair.
210 points and you lost. I mean, it's a sore one.
But do you know what? It's still showing them as through as well.
I know. What the fuck is going on?
It's changed the score, but it's still showing them as through. But yeah, so poor Batch is going to be in Division 4 next year, and he's going to be joined by Rotherham Raiders, who lost the other one as well. So they're definitely in Division 4 right now, and Duggan Batch and Portsmouth Pirates and Hot Dog Hot Shots, they're all playing to see if the winner of each of those games ends up in Division 3, and which will be good for them, and they can play off for the Toilet Bowl winner, you know. But
so obviously, after this week, we'll know the 2 teams that are in. Well, no, 8 teams that are in the first and 8 teams that are in the third. The rest will be playing off after that. But
yeah,
I'll post it. Who's in so far.
But I mean, we also know that you and we know that yourself and Warner Bay Warriors are going to be in Division 2 as well. That's been settled now too.
Yeah.
You will both definitely be in Division 2 next year. And
yeah.
In the division, semi-final time now, Johnny. You only need 2 more games, guys. You just need 2 more wins. Just keep it going for 2 more. And we've got Leeds Lassos are now back into it. They're going to play Whitworth Rockstars after Jackson's win.
Yeah. And
looking at that,
Kieran
Williams is out tonight for Leeds Lassos. He'll be looking for a big one there. He'll be hoping that he's going into Saturday with smiling. You know, he'll need a big game, and he'll need a big game from Williams tonight because that's one of his main players. You know.
Yeah.
When you look at it, he's got Jefferson back too there, Johnny, and Jefferson's playing Detroit. That's I know the quarterback's an issue there, but it's a good matchup.
Yeah, but hang on, I think Mullins has thrown a bit better than Dobbs because Dobbs was too busy wanting to run first and then throw. So it'd be good because he still scored 70 points last week. It basically was his first game back. He never lasted in the first one. So
I mean,
he likes to throw to Addison, so it helps me. So
it's a heck of a team that Leeds Lassos got there. I mean, you're looking at Lamar, Kamara, Williams, Amon-Ra, St. Brown and Jefferson against each other. You know, Samuel's got absolute flying at the moment. Then he's got A-Chain and Bijan Robinson in the flex positions. I know neither are exactly setting the house on fire right now, but, you know, it is still A-Chain's well capable.
And obviously the next one will be a hard one. The Stoke-on Bengals against the EK Colts.
This one's Stoke coming back into it now and not up against the EK Colts after a great win for EK Colts this week. And yeah, they've it's a tight one. I mean, it's a Christian McCaffrey effect there for EK Colts, isn't it? It's he's got as hard a game as he's going to have this year. McCaffrey, you know that Baltimore defense is solid against the run.
We've got a few in the Miami Dallas, and you've got 2 Pollard and Hill.
Yep. And
so that'll be an interesting one.
Nothing playing tonight, no, nothing out tonight for EK Colts. But yeah, Stoke and Bengals as well. You know, they've had that wee bye week, and that wee bye week could not have came at a better time with Tyreek Hill, could it?
I know you could. Yeah, surely be playing this week because we want to get to. How many yards is he on now? Got quite a few, is he? Or
he'll be on plenty enough. But I mean, he'll be back purely because they're in a race for the. I mean, they're in a race for the #1 spot now. Really, are they not?
Well, I think yeah. Are they 2 games up with 3 to play?
Yeah,
they're playing the Bills in the last game, so potentially they could bugger it up and the Bills could win the division. But it's got to be hard to see.
I mean, I'm hoping he's going to have to get rid of. I'm hoping he's going to have to move Stevenson out of there and get someone else in because I'm loaded up on Zeke now. but yeah, I mean, the Stoke team, this is a 50-50 for me. The Stoke team's absolutely solid. I'm not saying it's not, but Pollard's been very disappointing a lot of this season.
Oh, yeah.
Diggs has been quite disappointing. You know, he is playing the Chargers, so if he can't do something against the Chargers, then there's a problem there. I mean, Godwin's not been outstanding. Stevenson's probably still going to be out. He's not been back at training yet. Anyway, you know, Hollywood's been okay, I guess. But yeah, this could be a real close one. It'll be interesting to see who gets through here and who makes it into the championship game because that's a very tight
game. We'll have to do it. Well, obviously, my predictions in this one, I'm actually going to go Leeds Lasso and EK Colts. I know they kick my ass. I've really got to follow them and hope I get. But I still think Stoke and Bengals will be enough to finish in third. So
I was going to do exactly the same. Actually, that's exactly what I was going to call. I was going to call Leeds Lassos and EK Colts. But in the interest of being different, I do think the Stoke and Bengals and EK Colts one's very close. So I'll take the 2 favourites to be in the championship game here.
But sorry, Jack, we can't pick you. You did a cracking result in the last game, but no.
Yeah, but that Leeds Lassos team is just far too strong for me.
I know. It's just scary. I know. So
it's what's as well, and I'll tell you what. See with the likes of Kieran Williams playing against the New Orleans Saints defense, and I know he's been absolutely on fire. but so is Devin Singletary. You know,
Yeah.
if
Matson doesn't play, you got Chandler as well after last week.
Chandler, yeah, of course, Chandler's on fire, and you know, so yes, you have to play Williams tonight, but yeah, I mean, the options are there. You wouldn't knock him for rolling the dice here a little bit. Do you know what I mean?
I'm trying to figure what the trades were again, because who did DK Coates get in their trade? I can't remember. It was just before the season.
Oh, I can't remember. That was a while back now, was it? No.
But obviously they're helping in the playoffs, so.
Yeah, well, absolutely. I mean, that's what you make your trades for, isn't it?
Yes. So we'll move on to Yes and the see how they got on. But yeah, so obviously we'll go for.
Yeah, well, I'm in Division 3. Whoop whoop. Finally, something went right for me in this league, you know, and I managed to get the win in the toilet bowl. So happy days. But we'll get forget that one. First and foremost, it was a cracking win for Ancoat Citizens against the Buccaneers, 226 points as well. So good scoring this week. I see you're having problems loading up. But
yeah, well,
I mean,
the internet's been crap for a couple of weeks. It stopped halfway through the Show Me the Money podcast last week. So
it's I mean, you got to take your hat off to Ancoat Citizens. You really do, because they lost Burrow, and they've brought in Browning, they've brought in Mayfield, and they've played Mayfield this week, and he's 40 points. So absolutely picked the right one when you could have easily played either one, you know. So great choice there to stick Mayfield in. Unfortunately, he's lost Chase. That's going to hurt him this week, you know.
Yeah, that's a sore one, that one.
I mean, he left Edwards-Helaire and White on the bench, you know, when Pacheco, and it's you think you roll the dice with one of them, don't you? Especially with Jamal Williams, who had a tough game and not really been doing the best of late. But no, they both.
Well, in fairness, he's probably lost Chase and Pittman.
Is Pittman out? Is he? I wasn't sure. I don't know about. I've not really seen.
I've not really heard, but that was a serious hit he took last week. So I'm pretty.
Right enough. What a hit! Oh, geez, right enough. I'm forgetting exactly what it was.
I'm surprised he still got ahead after that one. That was even like going back old school hitting. That was lethal.
Yeah,
that was. Even Lewis would have hit like that. That was brutal. That like
crazy hit, absolute crazy hit. So yeah, I mean, he's going to lose Pittman as well, and he's lost Chase and he's lost Pittman. And see if you look on that bench, there ain't no wide receivers there.
No, because he's got
Nothing Jigba will get tucked in as one for one of them, but you know, that's going to be a problem in the next round. And for Buccaneers, it was a case of McCaffrey and nothing else.
Yes, well that's that. Well, that's all you. Yeah.
I know Jefferson got his 19 points and Evans got his 17, but I mean, I've rabbited on about Evans already, so I'm not going to do that again. But that was with a touchdown, by the way. How can Mayfield throw for 1 billion yards and Evans get 57 of them?
Well, I think about 70 yards went to Moore, was it not, with that touchdown when he ran through the middle of the defence?
Blooming ridiculous. But yeah, I mean, Lockett's been a disappointment for Buccaneers all season.
And by the way, Derek is not actually in the third division yet. He still has to win to get in the third division.
No, I'm in the third division.
Oh yeah.
Oh yes, you only need to win one game to be in the third division. I'm in the final.
Oh, you're in Division 2.
Top 3. I'm in the third division, guaranteed. And the winner of the fourth place playoff will join us. But yeah, and then we had in the other game, we had a fantastic win for the Godalming Goats against the Yorkshire Finns. It was very tight, less than 20 points in it, and relatively low scoring.
Craig,
the winners under 200.
Craig, you're not actually in the third yet. You have to get because there's still 4 teams left playing for the third division spot. So the top 2 will be guaranteed in, and the winner of the third, fourth place gets in. You still have to win one more game to get in.
Oh gosh, so it is.
Yeah.
Oh, of
You
course,
got
it's
the, I
not
was thinking,
the final that we're in. It's sorry,
yeah.
you're right, Johnny. You're right. Yeah. Of course, I'm not in the third
But
division yet.
one win out of the next 2 games and you're in.
1 out of 2. Yeah, 1 out of 2. That's right. 1 out of 2. Sorry,
Yeah.
my
Got
head's
me
been a
bloody
mass
thinking
all
about
week
that
this
one for
week.
a minute.
Yeah,
I'm the one fucking running it.
forgive me that. Yeah, my head's been
Still,
a mass all week. Sorry. Yeah, I'm not quite in the. I need
know.
to win 1 out of 2, and I'm in. Yeah, it's just that.
It was a cracking win, though. I have to give you that. It was a good win.
Yeah, but down Bears and Aberdeen Bucks, they're both going to be in the 4th division. That's what's been decided.
Yeah.
And
the second
yes.
division and the 4th division, 8 teams have been decided. This week you'll get 8 teams in the 1st and 3rd decided. Then the last week will be the playoff spots for the last bits in each division.
That's it, yeah. So I do apologise. I've
had
that wrong.
So is that the first time you've been over 200 points, or second time?
Second time I got over 200 in the
because you got the highest score last season.
So. But 2 weeks in a row, so it's heading in the right direction. Amazing what happens when T. Higgins comes back. But yeah, Godalming Goats had the great win against Yorkshire Finns, and it was one of those games where no one, Cooper Cup got 31, which you must be delighted with. Cooper Cup springing back up right at playoff time. St. Brown got 28, but it was more the Al Shahir got 26 and a half, but it was more the kind of consistency of scoring through his team that's got him that win with Godalming Goats, and Yorkshire Finns. I mean, Bejan. That was a bit harsh. He dropped one fumble and he never seen the field again.
Well, he did that before earlier on in the season as well. Just one fumble and you never saw him again. The same remember he said he was feeling ill. He said he wasn't feeling well, so they never brought him back into that piece of crap. But no.
Yeah. And
but then Luke will be in my division next year. So.
Yorkshire Finns will be gutted as well because they had Devante Adams 27.6 heading into the weekend, thinking, "Oh, what a great start!" But yeah, the team just didn't show up, unfortunately. And even on the bench, there's nothing. So I can't even say if they'd have done this or that, that made a difference. But yeah, they just didn't show up, unfortunately, on the day, and that's what happens in the playoffs, and one and done, I'm afraid. So
it's in the next one. So we'll have Glasgow Eagles that are playing the
Ancoats Citizens.
Yeah, sure.
So Glasgow Eagles are playing Ancoats Citizens, and that's going to be that's going to be a good game as well. Graham flew, flying Eagles. But hey, Graham flew the whole entire season. 12-2 is a great record, and if Stevenson does make the field, then he's good. 2 good running backs here with Etienne as well. But Etienne's up against the Bucks, and they've got a solid run D. Not so good in the air.
Great for running backs.
Beckham, Kincaid. He's got Kamara and Swift in the flex spots, but yeah, you look at I look at Graham's team there, and I know it's 12-2, but it doesn't set me on fire,
I know he's I don't know if he's going to stick with Kincaid because he's got Goddard on the bench against the Giants, and he's got Isaiah Likely.
He'll not finish his team yet.
He's a favourite target.
Graham, and I know Graham. He'll be tinkering daily. Do you know what I mean? But like if I'm Ancoats Citizens, I'm looking over there and I'm thinking, yeah, I've got a shout this week. But I then look at, and he's got Chase and Pittman, and there's nothing there to replace it. Which is, he'll put Chandler in, he'll put Smith and Jigba up into Chase's slot, and he'll put Chandler in there, I'm guessing. But
he got Chandler off the waiver wire, paid $43 for him.
But can you really, really go with Kadarius Toney? Can you really go with a guy who stands 10 yards offside and moans about it afterwards?
Not as much as his quarterback does.
Yeah, well, there you go. But so that I think that'll be a tight game. I'm going to go with Glasgow Eagles purely on the judgment of Jason Pittman and no replacements, or one replacement for 2 players.
Well, that's the second. But obviously in the last one, they had Jason Pittman out as well, so it's a bit of a theme.
Yeah, well, that's what happens when you pick 2 players that seem to get injured quite a lot. This one is just
one's a proper toss-up. The Godalming Goats against Alaskan Deep Freeze.
Alaskan Deep Freeze has had that wee week off to reassess what's going on, and I'll tell you what, if if Cook keeps going the way if James Cook keeps going the way he's going, he's got to be in with a fantastic shout. I mean, the scores that he's putting up now, they're quite scary, actually. Do you know, I entered 4 best balls in DraftKings, full season best balls. You go into a group of 12 and the top 2 qualify for the knockouts, so I got through 2 of them. And in one of them, so that you go into a league of 12 and you need to top it to go through. But then second down to 12 gets a little bit of cash, a couple of dollars back. But I actually topped it this week as well. So I'm in the second to last round now, and the money's getting a wee bit bigger. And James Cook and Christian McCaffrey, that's my 2 guys. They're carrying me to a couple of bucks, So if they can carry me through this one, it's a 200 grand tournament. So and next week's the final. So it would be nice to get through that, but obviously you need to be 11 other guys. But sorry, the moral of that is that I'm really cheering on James Cook this week. But yeah, so I mean, I like Alaska Deep Freeze what they've got. White's just getting better and better as the season goes on. Gibbs as well, can totally coexist with Montgomery. So that's no worries there.
Noah Brown's questionable. I don't know if he's going to play, but
yeah, I mean,
he's got Judy and he's got Wicks on the bench if he plays. He's got Judy, but he's got Helen on the bench if he'll be playing. So he's obviously not set his team.
Yeah, he's not done. Tyreek Hill's going to come right in there for Brown, and as soon as he does, it's a very hard game for Godalming Goats. It really is. I mean, I like bits of their team. Pollard worries me. Cup worries me, even though he had a really good week last week. And if he has the same week again,
a message for Derek there for you.
Yeah, not even close, mate. I'll fall down. What will happen is I'll get into the final and then I'll finish proper plumb last in the final week. That's what will happen. I'll get about $100.
Especially if it's the number 1 seed. Yeah.
But
yeah.
Yes.
Well, obviously we're both going to go Glasgow Eagles. And we are, yes. And Alaska Deep Freeze, just because they help.
Me too. I can't not. It's there's too much potential weakness in Godalming Goats. As much as there's a lot of strength, there's too much potential weakness. When I say that, I mean your Cooks, your Spears, who might do well but probably won't. Cooks, who can have a good game. Pollard, I've got to go the same as you, Johnny, this time.
Yeah, especially when he's going to stick on Tyreek Hill, probably for Noah Brown, and that's just a bang.
And there you go.
Scary. So on to Queen Hill. So we had whatever.
Yeah, so we had
Carlton Crew Team of the Week. 276 bloody points.
Yeah, that's
White Tigers got a bit.
I mean, to be fair, that was far and away. That it wasn't even close. So that's one of those games where you've been well and truly spanked, and you got to just well done to your opponent and move on. I mean, it's 120 points for goodness sake, Johnny, and that's with your opponent having 9 points from Prescott at quarterback.
Yeah, it is a momentum.
I mean, Whitehall's unlucky. He rolled the Elliott dice, and I do not blame him for it. I rolled them everywhere as well, and it did not land very well. No. He's rolled the Beckham dice
as well
for him. Who I was talking about just 2 minutes ago, Tajay Spears. He's rolled that dice, and it's delivered 7 points. But I mean, even more importantly, look at the defense: 6.5 and 9.5, and at playoff time,
for those two players as well. You can understand Leonard because he's new to the team, but Franklin usually gets a lot more than that.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, there's nothing you can do. He's playing the right 2 players. They just haven't performed on the day, And I mean, he didn't have Hill, he didn't have Watson, he didn't have Dillon, and that's hurt as well. The three of them can score very well. Dillon maybe not. That's an exaggeration, but Hill and Watson certainly could have been massive scorers for him, and they could have made a difference. But alas, injuries took them out. And Carlton Crew, I mean, what do you say? If you take out the quarterback, it's
still the highest
almost
team of the week.
Scoring.
Yeah, I think even if you take him out, it probably is still the highest scoring team of the week without the score.
I'll tell you what, As I run down the team here, I see he's got Adam Thielen off the roster. He's dropped Adam Thielen. He's dropped Alvin Cook, and he's dropped McPherson as kicker. So there's three players. So Carlton Crew have made some moves this week. They have made some moves.
They picked up Hunter Henry, Tucker Craft. So they got Tucker Craft for $66, and they got Hunter Henry for $66. See, that's my problem. I ran out of cash about 4 weeks to go. Like, I couldn't pick any of the other part for free agency, and that was just not a good thing.
Well, that was stupid, wasn't
it? I know. Well, I thought
what other answer do you want to that, Johnny? I
know. I was just about to say I'll be learning that from next year, but thank you, Craig.
You're like my wife. You're like my wife. You overspend constantly and then moan about it. It's like it's your fault you spent it.
No, I know I never said it wasn't my fault. So I'm just saying I was learning that from next year. I was keeping some money for near the end.
Well done, sir. Learn from your lessons. That's the difference between you and the woman. You'll learn from your mistakes. Anyway, going back to this before I get the brigade all over me. Seattle Patriots beat the Glossop Fighting Gophers 201 to 185. Unlucky Glossop, 185 is just not going to cut it at playoff time, is it? It's really not. But
no.
I mean, he had to be fair, he had 3 options at quarterback and picked the right one. But Hall was disappointing. Nakua, how disappointing is it when your guy's been flying all season long and then he gets you 12 points in the playoffs?
Yeah.
Kittle 10, Bejan 1.05 for Bejan, Johnny.
He killed a few cleanest playoff props this week, actually. I'm pretty sure I saw it all over the place.
Yeah, he's going to have killed many teams' chances, hasn't he? And Seattle Patriots, great win. Hurts doing very well despite the loss, And what about that? What about that throw at the end, interception? It's like, how bad a throw is that? How can you possibly claim that's pass interference? It's about 5 yards short. And it was there. Yeah. All you had to do was put it over their heads. It was there. It was a bad throw. Nothing less. Nothing more, nothing less.
Was that the interception that sealed the game?
Aye.
Well, that's the interception that cost me my playoff spot in Jack's league.
Oh, is that? Oh, jeez.
I lost 1 point and lost by half a point. In fact, not even half a point.
Such a bad pass.
Oh, and the pass was on. I woke up to see it too. It was really annoying. Thing is, if he threw it out of bounds, then he won the game.
But it was
when he caught the ball and he flipped over, I was like, he's not touched the ground, but his toe just touched the ground and no more. I was like,
his toe was down. But that touchdown was on. He just underthrew the pass. It was an underthrown pass. The bad news for Seattle Patriots as well, they've lost Mitchell. So
yeah.
I see what he did. They rolled Rodriguez dice. I'm so happy somebody else rolled that Rodriguez dice. Thank you very much, Seattle Patriots. I'm glad you won despite it not working out because, I rolled that Rodriguez dice a couple and it just obviously flopped massively. But I get the thought process behind that. I thought he was going to get a lot more than 10 carries, I have to say. But then they had to go to the air very quickly, didn't they? Because they were behind early, weren't they?
Yeah. Well, on the right side, he's got Pacheco coming back in.
That's good news for him. But so it's just a straight swap then, really, isn't it? Is Pacheco back this week?
As far as I know, yeah, they're expecting him to play. Hopefully.
Fair enough. I mean, it's you look at the Glossop Fighting Gophers as well. I mean, they've lost White, they've lost two quarterbacks and Musgrave to IR this year. So I mean, that's tough, but done well to get to where they did. But Seattle Patriots march on.
I know, and I'll see you in my division next year, Glossop and Whitehill. And obviously well done the other two. And obviously Preston Hawks beating the Kirkbowl Chargers. And the Glen Rossett Nasco's 267 points. Beating the Edinburgh Thunderbirds. He's actually done really well, I think, since he changed his logo and his team.
Yeah. Just
I think he might be unbeaten actually, so maybe just stick to that one. But yeah,
too little, too late. But
who's playing who in the next one? So you got
So next up, we've got and then this could be tie of the week from everywhere, Johnny. You've got Carlton Crew playing against the Bankfoot Panthers. So the Bankfoot Panthers obviously just coming back off their bye, week, and I mean Fraser must be getting really ready to go. You know, it's he'll be excited about this one because I know how much he enjoys his fantasy football, and yeah, it's going to be a tight one. He's walking. You know, you come in as favourite, but are you favourite? I don't think he is.
Well, no, I think Carlton Crew's favourite, but he's got Brian Robinson. He'd be hoping he plays. He's in his team. Is questionable.
Yeah, but and I mean, Brian Robinson.
That's against the Jets. So it's against the Jets. So again, they got beat last week. Their defence is still usually pretty good. But he's got to be right just in case Jacobs doesn't play again. But yeah,
he's going to need Ford to be out there as well. And you know, the Carlton Crew team, there's no way Dak Prescott's going to go that bad again. I'm telling you as well, Dak Prescott cost me my playoff tie in home league. So I guarantee you Prescott's going to go for about 40 points this week. Absolutely stonewall guarantee you. So
So to me, it's the Manchester Bees and the Carlton Crew that'll go through in this one, I think. So
I've got to say, I think Carlton Crew is going to go through, and I mean the Manchester Bees have got a quarterback problem there. They've got, you know, unless Stroud comes back, is Stroud coming? Do we know Stroud's back this week?
I'm not sure.
He's playing Cleveland, though. You know, he's got Nick Mullins in there at the moment, which is fine, I guess. But yeah, outside of that, you've got to fancy.
Stroud was still signed with concussion today.
Is he? So,
but
maybe not.
Mullins will throw the ball, so
yeah, true, and he's got some good targets, so he might do them okay. Yeah, no, I agree with you. Manchester Bees, who got their bye and are ready to rock and roll. I fancy them and Carlton Crew to be in the final, and I fancy Carlton Crew to be in playing in the Orkney Bowl, Orkney Super Bowl next week as well.
Yeah. So right, we'll go on to Malhead. Week 15. So here we go.
This is Sean's league. So Sean got a big win this week.
Sean had a cracking score this week.
242 points, and you finished fourth. And one more place, and you've got a great shout about playing for the bowl, you know. And alas, it just did not. You know, he's got his finished fourth and to finish fifth, and so he's just in the playoffs. But a great score for him, great result. You know, Purdy absolutely flying. Singletary showed up this week massively. You've got to think Singletary's going to see it. As long as the Texans have got a chance, I think Singletary's going to see a lot of the ball, you know.
Of course, you got McCaffrey in the flex.
And McCaffrey down there, yeah. I mean, it's a cracking side that Sean's got there, and they're starting to show up at the right time. So, absolutely starting to show up at the right time. And, you know, Harlequins, they've not scored badly, 191 points. It's not bad, but Bijan's the running backs have killed them. Bijan and Williams has just absolutely murdered them.
I know. Thing is, like you say, Williams they were that far behind, you had to keep them throwing the ball. So
Lefty Higgins on the bench. Ugly. But then you've got Etienne and Williams in the flexes, and then you know it's so. What do you? Well, he's not in it this week. He's out, but
Edwards will be the starting running back this week. So
yeah, he will be for sure. And anyone who's still got Hill kicking about their benches might be thinking about Justice Hill this week too.
Yeah, that's a good score, Sean. And then obviously you've got Danny the Dublin Everton Blues.
Yes,
the number 3 seed beating the Solihull Sharks, who ended their was it a 5-game win streak? The Solihull Sharks
5 or 6 game win streak. Yeah, they were on a big one to get in there, but alas, it's one and done. You know, alas, it's one and done. To be fair, Dublin Everton Blues were on. Well, you know, they've been up the top the whole way, and so very much deserved. And there's Chandler popping up in a team that I've not seen. You know, I've not seen him pop up a bit. You know, that was a great shout putting him in. You know,
that's a good one. Yeah, definitely 31 points. Cup 31 points.
I get the whole leaving Amari Cooper on the bench. I really do, right? Because you know, quarterback crap and all that. But 25.9 points last week for Amari Cooper. So here's my big question: can you leave him out this week?
I honestly don't think you can leave Amari Cooper out. He's too good a bloody player.
That's what I'm saying. So, like, you know, and he's played 6 levels over him, 1.95 points. I can't not see Cooper being back in. You get the pass this week for not playing Cooper because of the game and what you know. You don't get the pass next week after him having a game like that. Cooper must play.
No, because no matter what a quarterback plays, Cooper gets the ball.
Absolutely.
You'll get your 40-yard catch. You'll get your points every week. And obviously, you had Goff on the bench as well. So he played Browning over Goff.
I'm assuming that Solihull Sharks is a Jets fan as well, because why the hell else would you stick with Garrett Wilson playing against Miami? With whoever the hell was throwing the ball to them.
He probably thought it'd be a shootout, to be honest.
Yeah, I'm looking. Yeah. Who was
I'm
it quarterback for the Jets?
But it started off as Wilson and it ended up as...
Oh, did Wilson start it actually, did he?
Yeah, he got knocked out the game, I think it was. And then
was he not? Did he just get knocked out of the game? I thought that was the week before.
Was it Trevor Simeon, I think?
Trevor Simeon, that's who it was, yeah. Trevor Simeon came in, you are correct.
I don't think he hit a barn door for the rest of the game, I think. So.
I mean, Solihull Sharks are obviously out of it now, but it would be interesting to see if they had the balls to drop Wilson next week after, you know, the play that's gone on. But Dublin Everton Blues are through, and they're going to go on, and they are going to play Leicester Tigers.
Leicester Tigers. So
and now
this would be a very close game.
This is what I need to look at, because I need to see what happened there with Leicester Tigers, and they
last week.
Yeah, 153. Did they just not do their team thinking that they were safe as houses?
Sure.
It's certainly it was certainly a low score. Oh no, he's not done his team because Hill's there and Hall's there, and oh, what a mistake when you're in the Scarabray. You've got one chance. You've got a chance of making it to the. You've got a chance of making it to the Orkney Super Bowl, and you don't change your team because you've got a bye. Ouch!
I know people should watch the podcast. We did tell them to make sure you check your team even if you've got a bye. But
I mean, Tua, Kamara, Hall, Hill, Boyd, Lamb, decent enough. Got to have a good shout, but Dublin Everton Blues are no mugs.
He's got Cooper in and Chandler, Hubbard. He's got Goff in.
When I look at it, he's got Reid there. He's got the option of putting Reid in if he so desires. It's when I look at it, I think that's very close to the point where I'm going to go for the upset there. I'm going to go for Dublin Everton Blues to win that one.
Well, actually, we both are, because I am going for them too. I just think they'll do it, and I'm going to go with Sean.
Yeah, me too. It's a very close one, though. It's
he's a very canny player, and he's just always does well.
Finds a way, and he's got Jones back there now. He's back. He's got Waller back. Waller Jones back in with Mixon and McCaffrey and all the touches they're getting, and Adams is back doing okay. You look in the other side, and he's relying a lot on, you're needing big.
Josh Allen,
Beckham's floor is 0, Yeah. And Henry's been just so inconsistentness. If it doesn't snow in Vermont, he's in Orkney Warriors is in trouble.
Yes.
Here you go. Roll the Justice Hill dice. I'm telling you, it's San Francisco, though. You can't really, can you? But he does have that option. If he wants to be a bit braver, maybe if Jacobs is out again, because he's got Jacobs there. He is trending towards playing Jacobs.
Who's playing quarterback for Atlanta? Is it what's his name? Used to be the quarterback in Washington.
Yes, that's exactly who it is.
Heineke.
Yes.
So actually, I think London will do well because Heineke likes to toss the ball about. Usually to the other team, but he usually does hit the number one receiver too.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
So he could have a good game. And it's in Indianapolis, so it's not going to be piss of rain the whole fucking game, like.
No, but Indianapolis isn't exactly.
But then you've got Mostert's got 20 touchdowns, but the Dallas defense, I know they got ripped last week, but they're not usually that bad against the run.
No, and they don't tend to get ripped twice.
I can't see that happening again.
I don't think I would have a problem playing Mostert. I've got to say, I think Mostert's a must start if you have him in your team.
But then we've got Singletary against Cleveland.
Yeah, I mean that's a tough one for Singletree because I would say any other team, and I would say he's a must start, but that's
Even
a tough
McCaffrey gets
game.
Baltimore, it's a hard one.
I wouldn't blame anyone leaving him out, you know.
But yeah, we're still going to go. Sorry, Water Ortiz, we've got to go for the homeboy and go for the Newcastle Colts. But
Absolutely.
this game could easily be 235 to 230.
Yeah, it very much could be.
This could easily be a stat correction end the game by next Saturday. So hopefully it doesn't happen, but that could easily be. It's going to be that close a game, and I think obviously unless the Tigers and double it Blue Bowl, this would be another close game too. But we're going for both the underdogs, even though they're
yes,
not
we are.
but you know what I mean. The lower seeds.
And down the other side, you've got Yorkshire Los Mertos and our Gary Wilkes Gold Rush there, Division 4, after losing their ties and so that's set in stone. And then you've got Nairn Knights will play the Preston Panthers, and the Workshop Doff Rookies will play Leeds Leopards to see who gets into the two winners will be in Division 3 next year.
And then the other two will play a gipper who's going to be in Division 3. So we'll move on to the West Conference because we're running a bit long, Craig.
Yes, I know. I'm looking at that. I do have a 9 o'clock meeting, so let's shuffle along a little bit. And my team. That's it. I picked them. I picked them in this division. Thank you very much.
Oh yeah. I picked the Gothenburg Angels. I think they're probably going to play each other next as well. Actually.
They are playing each other.
253 points against 158.
But a great score.
Titans.
See when you finish. Finish fourth in the division, and then you go and shoot. You finish fourth in the division, then you go and shoot 253 points. That's harsh. You know
what, like in my game? You mean?
Well, yes, like in your game. I mean, yes, that's exactly what I mean.
I was the third in the division. Yes.
Exactly what I mean.
There you go. Yeah.
But yeah, great win for Chris Budge and his Bonnierig Cheeseheads. It's and that's without Alan knocking it out the park. But Dixon Heath Demons
really good result there at Turbo Titans. You've got another good one. We'll get to you in a second. But Craig's too busy coming over the Bonnierig Cheeseheads.
But Dixon Heath Demons, Montgomery's had an off. I mean, 15 points, and you're calling it an off week, but it is. Pollard's had an off week. Ayuk's had an off week. Lockett's had an off week. Beckham's done what Beckham does. And it's just been, unfortunate that it lands in the playoffs, whereas the exact opposite's happened for Bonnierig Cheeseheads, and you've got Walker going off in one, Gibbs going off, Samuel going off, Waddle going absolutely off, Samuel going off.
Connor going off. It's the 49ers. So that's about 24 points against the 49ers. It's pretty bloody good.
And that's with the 40-point Mayfield on the bench. I have him. But so great win for Bonnierig. And in the other one, Turbinville Titans. Yep, fantastic. 217 points. Poor old Dreve bites the bullet at the first hurdle. But And
he's lost Mitchell as well.
And it's a good choice at quarterback, and it is a genuine choice, See, when you've got the likes of when you've got Hurts in your team, or you've got Prescott in your team, or you've got Mahomes in your team, you're always starting them. It doesn't matter who's on your bench. But Turbinville Titans here, they've got actual decision to make here. They've got Goff, they've got Carr, and they've got Levis. All three can score, and all three can do absolute jack shit. So picking the right one is essential, and they picked the right one this week.
By a long way.
Elijah Moore's a problem, 4.7, having to stick him in. So have we got anyone coming back?
Pickens is a problem as well, to be honest, in that fucking Steelers offense.
Yeah, Pickens. The thing is, Pickens has got a high ceiling. If it can just got, he's such a good player, Pickens, he's got a high ceiling. I'm not convinced that Moore's got that higher ceiling this season, just with who's thrown to him and stuff,
Oh.
And Mike bloody Evans, 57 yards. But yeah, great win for Turbinville Titans, and they will march on to the next round.
Well, they will be playing.
To be fair to them, they have the chance. They're going in to play Yeovil winners, the 10-4 Yeovil winners. And it's, they're kind of sitting with Gibson and Edwards-Helaire in the team at the moment. Pacheco will come back in, obviously. Got the option of playing Brown, the Cincinnati boy, who's been doing quite well.
Yeah,
not going to be
getting
on
the
to play
screen
North.
catches.
Dylan might be back, but that could be a potential issue for Yeovil winners. You know, Gibson needing to score it, and it's against that Jets D.
Yeah, it's a tough one. And
He
obviously,
does have T Higgins back though, which is massive, you know, and he did show up the other week there. And we chase out Higgins could be absolutely huge this week. We chase out, although he could also be double teamed and do absolutely nothing. So yeah,
and
good
then
chance.
that's how you get Tyler Boyd in. Oh, Turbo Titan's a bit stressed out.
He's got, you know, Yeovil winners has got Tyreek Hill there as well, and he's got him in flex at the moment. But even if Hill does come back, it's one of those injuries that, you know, it can certainly slow him down. And the Dolphins, I wouldn't put it beyond the Dolphins to stick Hill out there anyway if he can, but no throw to him once. Just put him out there as a distraction.
Yeah,
and concentrate on Waddle more. I can really and the running backs even, you know, and dumping it off to or dumping it off. I can absolutely see them doing that and putting the Hill out there like that and touching the ball maybe twice for 10 yards. But yeah, Turnbull Titans, what options have they got here then? So what's sitting on their bench at the moment? They've got that quarterback decision to make again as well, and they've got to make it tonight because if he wants to play Carr, he's going to need to put him on tonight. Levis against Seattle. I mean, you've got to go with Goff against Minnesota, don't you? But let's not forget Minnesota have shut out at least one team, and that defense has got real recently. That Vikings D.
It has.
So that's a tough one, and he's got Tyler Kraft there. That you know, but he's got Kittle sitting there. He's still got Moore and Pickens in the flex. That's yeah. I can see humming and hawing over that a little bit, but yeah, no, he's every chance. But this is a close one. This is a close one, Johnny.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to go Turbo Titans in this one. Actually,
right. Well, I'm going to go Yeovil winners then, just to flip the switch. And then the other one that's your Gothenburg Angels against my Bonnie Rig Cheesehead. So I know who I'm going for, and I know who you're going for.
Well, I know who I'd like to go for, but I have to stick with Gothenburg Angels. But looking at the team, Bonnie Rig Cheeseheads are just too good. So that's what we'll move on to the West one.
Yeah, let's go on. What one are we in now? No, I was just going to say, you know, his chances might live and die. The Gothenburg's chances might live and die with Bijan bouncing back this week. You know, that's a huge one for him.
Well, there's a possibility it could, but yeah, it's still one of them look pretty hot. So.
Yeah, they do.
We'll see.
And they're finding form at exactly the right time.
Yeah.
Now, here we go again. McGonigal, McGonigal's in the big one, and he scored 128 points this week, and he's been scoring so well of late. So I don't know what happened there, but good win.
Week, yeah. Good win for Dallas Destroyers.
Is it Dallas Destroyers? Is it? Yeah, great win for Dallas Destroyers there. 230 points. And that's with Trevor Lawrence at quarterback. When's he going to give up on Trevor Lawrence? It's Olin Riddle. It's on the bench.
It's Dallas Destroyers are Drew Lock playing.
Sorry, Drew Lock playing. Yep, sorry.
They scored 230 points with Drew Lock, Breece Hall, and AJ Brown.
And Jalen Warren. And said that the first thing that you look at, you're thinking, that's no great. But Cooper Kupp's bounced back very well, and Rashad Rice could win someone a division this year, I think.
And TJ had a quiet game, but he still scored nearly 20 points.
I know.
Then Williams ran back 32 points. So it's and the defense. Nearly 40 points between the two of them. So.
It shows the importance of the tight ends, and you know when you getting the ones that do get the catches, even when they have it. I mean, 6 out of 7 for 63, and it's 20 points. The tight ends are so important there.
Well, you get especially if you're getting over first down tight end bonus as well. So all helps. But people catch on for next year.
AJ Brown doing sod all for him as well. Do you know what I mean? It's options. Dallas Destroyers have options going into the next round as well. You know, which is always a big thing. And then in the other one, 160 points for 160 points for the Pandas. That's pretty harsh. and playoff time,
That
you
is a
know.
sore one.
You
Yeah,
get
coming up
Zach
against the
Moss
Bobby
doing
Regis
nothing, you
Falcons.
get Lockett doing nothing, Flowers doing nothing. He left Sky Moore in and he didn't play. Minus points from your kicker.
Oh, that's a sore one.
You know,
That's
so
impressive getting minus points for a kicker and he's scoring.
that's a disaster in playoff time, you know. And Bogner Regis Falcons, they're just sitting back and lapping up and saying, I only need to beat my opponent and I'm in the next round. And that they dutifully delivered. But
Yeah.
Buccaneer heavy for my liking, but certainly Rashad White, I think, has been absolutely fantastic last few weeks and is just coming onto the game. McLaurin and Jefferson, you know, sitting there as well, doing quite well. But, you know, there are a few holes there as well. It'll be interesting to see the lineup for next game, you know. But so great win for Bogdan Regis, great win for Darlow Destroyers. They will now march on. And Bogner Regis will be absolutely hoping Portland Lumberjacks have the same kind of week, you know, because
they've got Stevenson and Jones both questionable. Davis, who can't catch fuck all at moment, can't catch a cold. Downs should not really been doing much, but you think it might get more now with Pittman being out. Godwin, Kelsey, Hill.
I mean, he's done his team because he's taken Pittman out, and it's the old Gabe Davis thing as well. It's going to be boom or bust right there, isn't it? But I mean, that Kelsey trade that he's made, it looks terrible. He's number 2 seed in the division, you know, but it's just not worked out. And if you look at what Kamara and Matt have all done,
but this is the division where like anybody could have won in the last week. So
yeah,
I'm going to go to Bogner Regis Falcons here. Actually,
me too. I think it's a lot steadier, and I think it's going to be a lot more evenly scored. You know, whereas
I think that was that too.
Yeah.
That was I thought the Bogner Regis Falcons might be my pick to win the division actually, but I can't remember.
Was it? Yeah, that's I can't even remember now. But yeah, I agree with you. I think the Bogner Regis Falcons will win that one. And in the other one, we've got Whitworth Educators, as you say, 9-5, you know, against Darlow Destroyers. And again, absolutely wide open, Johnny. I mean, Whitworth Educators must be going in freaking out about how Bartley's playing, freaking out about how Diggs is playing.
Yeah, and of course, Barty's up against the bloody Philadelphia this week.
You know, tough
Merry bloody Christmas.
I would not be surprised to see. I would not be surprised to see Darren Waller being put back into that team. And
he was getting the targets last week. So
yeah, so I'm going to go with the Whitworth Educators. No, in fact, I'm not. I'm going to go with Darlow Destroyers because I like Kieran Williams. I think is absolutely fantastic. I think Hull bounce right back against the Commanders, and then you've got Cup and Rice and Hawkinson there, who I think will score really, really well. So I'm going Darlow Destroyers.
Well, I'm going to have to agree with you there. Sorry. So
and
we're both
down the other side.
Are we both agreed teams this one, are we? Yeah.
We are agreeing again. And then down the other side, Rhiney Cardinals and Gloucester Wolfpack, they are the ones that are going to be playing in Division 4 next year, while Birmingham Giants and Cavite Porkers and Sandbach Sunsets and Crew Juggernauts will the winners get into Division 3.
Yes. So we'll move on to Marvin Kent because we are in a hurry. I might have to finish this one myself, to be honest. But
no, I'll give it 5 minutes, Johnny. I'll give it 5 minutes. I can be a little bit, not much. Right, so Aaron,
probably tie of the week. 241 against 232. So that's a pretty impressive tie of the week, that one night.
And it's hard for both as well, because both would have a right. Both would be leading the Scarabray at the moment. 124 in the West, both would be leading. But yeah, great result for Aaron. He marches on. He's got his eye on that wee helmet now. He really has. He wants that helmet. So good on him. And great win. McCaffrey's flying for him, always has been. But now that Higgins is back and Waddle scoring 34 points, you know, McBride's on 31.
And McBride, yeah. And
White's going better and better.
He didn't even have a kicker. So
no, he had Patterson. He's just off the roster now. But Brian Robinson on the bench, and he's got Waller sitting there as well. And Waller did okay last week, and he'll do better this week as well. So he's got that option there as well. So yeah, fantastic win, and so unlucky for Southampton Dockers. It's Zay Flowers and losing Jamar Chase at wherever he lost Jamar Chase. If Jamar Chase finished the game,
the kicker
win the game.
Getting no points as well. So
it's only 8 points in it. So and yeah, Boswell kicker no points. So very unlucky to Southampton Dockers. And then the other one, here comes our Graham as well. So Graham against Kilmarnock Kings. Deek. But yeah, 186 points. I mean, it's 186 points. It's not terrible. It's you've scored okay. You've lost to 209. I mean, the quarterback's been the difference in it. Jackson's gone 27 and Goff's gone 44. If I offered you, Johnny, a quarterback this week in fantasy football, you can have Jackson, you can have Goff for this week's games. Who are you taking?
Goff.
What are you talking about? You're taking Jackson 100 times out of 100.
Not against the 49ers.
Okay, fair. I'm not talking about. I'm just.
You said this week.
Just as
overall, I take Jackson, but this week I would take Goff over Jackson against the 49ers.
Yeah, fair enough. This week, I agree.
You said this week.
I know, right? Sorry. But you know what my point is.
You'd always pick Jackson over Goff.
If I'm coming in here as Derek, I'm looking at that quarterback situation, thinking, right, that's been 15 points up next, and it turns out he's 15 points down. But Graham's got that Eckler problem. He managed to get it, and Pollard. Eckler and Pollard have been killing him so much this year, and it's such a shame because everything else is so solid. He's got cutback scoring now. Addison's doing really well.
Might be out this week, is he not? I don't know if he's going to be playing back.
Doesn't matter. JT's back anyway, so he'll be getting back. Also, but he'll play Chandler or he'll play Stevenson. I mean, he has options on the bench as well, does Graham? So yeah, and I see at 209 points. He's only 15-20 behind. He's got his eye on the Scarabray. He's wanting you to be sending that trophy to Bonnyrigg. No fricking Perth or wherever it is in Australia.
Yeah. They probably have to come up against the high scoring team in week 17, hoping the rest of their players.
But that's
well done, Graham, and well done, Aaron, for getting through.
So so they will go on, and Graham will be playing the Melbourne Supremacy now, and this is where it gets really tough for them, innit? But I mean, they've got Allen sitting in there. He's definitely out now. He's got an O next to his name. A-Chain's, I'm not so sure. Next season, 100%. I think he'll be drafted in the first round next year. In most redrafts, but this year, the rest of this year, I wouldn't be playing him.
So Allen is predicted to get 250 points with Allen being out. Well, he's not about taking the points off, but yeah. So who's he going to play?
No, he's predicted 207 in mine.
Allen out. Johnson and.
But yeah, I mean,
Downs a bit more.
For me, Graham's chances live and die with Eckler and Pollard. If Eckler and Pollard both show up and give him 25, 30 points each, which are more than capable of, Graham will win the game. If they turn up and do 10, 11, 12 each, which have been doing more often than not, then I think Melbourne Supremacy will win the game. And that's with Cup and Nakua both playing against New Orleans. Graham, I know you don't watch and you listen the next again day, and I know that they're playing tonight, so please be watching and drop one of them.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to have to go Melbourne Supremacy in this one, though.
Yeah, I'm sticking with Graham.
I've
got to stick with my boy, Johnny. So I'll go with Graham, and then another one I've got to go with Aaron as well, because I've got to stick with my son. But he's playing Whitchurch Warriors 10-4, and again, I'm looking at that team, and Lawrence could do okay, but he could do awful. Bijan, he needs Bijan to come back. Whitchurch Warriors needs a performance from Bijan this week. He really does. He's going to need to do something about Collins.
Well, actually, I'll probably join you in that. I do like Dave's team, but I'll probably join you with the Royal Arsenal Riots, because Aaron has picked up a kicker. He's just not put him in yet. He picked up.
He'll have a kicker. Don't you worry about it. He's got 2 kickers. He's picked up 2 of them. He's given himself options. He's waiting. He'll be waiting. Do you know what he's doing there, Johnny? Do you know what he's doing there? And he doesn't realize. He maybe doesn't realize that they're both in a dome. But he's picked up 2 kickers to wait and see what the weather's like for each of the games.
Well, I'd actually go Gay, because Gay's been scoring loads of points this year.
Yeah, I mean, it's
Because they seem to stall quite a lot end up with field goals, so I'd probably go Matt Gay, to be honest. But
either or could be the one. But I tell you what, I'd be. Oh no, Jack Jones is playing against Carolina, and he is due a big game. But I'd be trying somehow to sneak Waller in as well. I think Waller against that Eagles D cannot defend the tight end. But yeah, good matchup, and I've got to go with Aaron. I've got to go with Graham, and that's just that's where my loyalties lie, I'm afraid, guys. And Del Boy, poor old Commander King.
Well, I'll go for White Warriors, and just so we're up against each other.
Just to be a wee bit, absolutely.
Because that one is a proper coin toss. That one, I have no idea who's going to win that. So
and down the other side, the Bangham Sharks and the St. Helen Eagles, they'll be playing in Division 4 next year. And Chester Hurricanes and Plymouth Argyle will play Plymouth Argyle 49ers, and the Nottingham Rebels will play Peterhead Bloody Jets to see who's in Division. Both winners will be in Division 3 next year.
Yeah.
So Dwarf is staying, Johnny.
Yeah, Dwarf is staying. So
here we go. We had victories. Come on in already.
For Ross, and I spoke to him yesterday and wished him good luck. So hope I didn't put a curse on him like I did for Alan.
You probably did. You are good at that.
But he is playing Tony this week, so you already expect he's going to get his ass kicked anyway. But
yeah, well, I mean, 200 points, Johnny. It's showing that it's possible.
Well, that's it. I mean, and there was no bye weeks, so yeah, 218 points for the Cutwell Cowboys against the South Carolina Broncos, who decided not to show up.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those weeks, isn't it? Kyler Murray didn't do
well. Rodriguez as well. So
he rolled that Rodriguez dice. It just didn't work out. He lost Pittman to that absolute monster. Hollywood Brown goose egg. Kicker only get 5. Defense only get 19 between them. And, that all adds up to defeat, I'm afraid.
Well, James Cook, there you go, 43 points. That'll be
that's a big one. James Cook and Christian McCaffrey. I'm hoping they're going to take me to a £200,000, not the $200,000 overall. That's not what the winner will get. That's the overall prize fund, But I'm hoping they two can carry me. So go on, James Cook. I hope a solid this week.
His running back nearly got 100 points. Gibbs, Mostert, and Cook. And that over 100 points between the 4 of them. So
when you can win a positional race like that by that many points, that gives you such an advantage in the tie,
Yeah, I'll put that one back. I like that one.
And then
it's a good win for Ross.
And then the other one, Lanarkshire Bombers beat the Dobbo's Darlow Diamonds 190-177. It's I mean the Darlow Diamonds just Brees Hall didn't show up. Boyd not the best when you would have expected more. London get killed by the weather, and Barkley was a pain in the ass. And again, that's unfortunately playoff time that adds up to defeat. While Lanarkshire Bombers have got Purdy and McCaffrey, who again very much proven that I'm not a fan of quarterback running back stack, but they are very much.
It's McCaffrey, yeah.
They can coexist in fantasy football,
And Devontae Adams got 27 points. Everett
Adams went well, and it's and kind of Diggs is a letdown again, etc. Orton's a letdown, but great win, and they will march on, and they will be playing Kirkwall Raiders in the next round. So our Allen and Kirkwall Raiders, 11-3 against 11-3, big tie, big match.
We could potentially have an all Orkney final if the Kirkwall boys get through as well.
So we could, an all Orkney final, and Orkney Bowl would be nice. But yeah, I mean, I look at Kirkwall Raiders, and Kieran Williams, massive game tonight. If he can get him off that flyer, I see him going on and winning it. I think as I look through the team, it's a lot more, like I said before, it's a lot more of an even spread. Williams, Montgomery, Jefferson, St. Brown, Samuel Laporta, Jacobs if he plays, Chandler. I just don't see where the one that's going to score 0 is, Whereas then I look over at the Lanarkshire Bombers team, and yes, it's got some cracking players in it. You've got Gibson there that could do anything. You've got Flowers that can do anything. You've got Hudson at tight end. Goddard really could be anything. You're playing Everett, who could do, could be a 0. So I've got to go with Kirkwall Raiders being the favourite in that one. And you know, as much as I would love to see the Kirkwall final, I think it's going to be a Kirkwall third place playoff, I'm afraid, because the South London Rebels are the most solid team in it for me.
Yeah, that's just stacked.
I mean, it's so stacked. He's got Kincaid in the bench.
Yeah.
Eckler's the problem in it.
If you could get in the bench, Eckler is a problem.
Eckler's the problem, and obviously Prescott didn't show up this week. But again, I expect him to bounce back with a 40-pointer this week, just because that's what he's going to do. But the rest of that team solid as a rock, and I mean Kirkwall are far from out of it. Very solid team as well. But I worry about.
I'm going to go with the Kirkwall Raiders. Kirkwall and the Kirkwall Raiders.
Fair enough. I'm absolutely taking the South London Rebels there.
They'll probably hammer them by 70 points, but I've got to stick with Ross because I did see him. It was Tesco of all places too.
Was it? Yeah, so you got to stick there then. And down the other end, you'll get the Fulwood Pirates and the Manchester Spinners. They're going to be in Division 4 next year. And you've got the Gorgie Vikings and the Wakefield 49ers playing each other, and the London Eagles and the Bluetown Texans playing each other to see who'll play for 7th place and who'll both be in Division 3 next year.
Yes, and that's also a quickest one as we can. We're trying to do a bit more
streamlined.
Not through so much when I get to the next one. So, but thank you for joining and thank you for dropping on, Craig.
Thank you for everyone for watching again, and I appreciate all the comments down there. And good luck everyone this week.
It's good to have everybody watching. Thank you very much. We had 7 at one point.
Oof.
Probably the biggest one yet.
Biggest one. Well, it's playoff time, Johnny. Everyone's excited about it now. You know, it's playoff time.
Well, I'm not excited anymore, to be honest, but I'll be excited for everybody else. But
yeah, I know, me neither. It's getting harder to do it. when you're stuffed when you're stuffed everywhere, it's harder to do it, and I'm stuffed everywhere.
Yeah. Wish I wasn't number 1 seed. But no, thank you everyone for watching, and Craig for coming on for a quick show. And we've got a couple more comments before we go. What we got? Well, you'll be having plenty day on Saturday, Craig.
Yeah, I hope so, mate.
And by the way, make sure you wish Craig a happy birthday on Saturday.
Oh no, don't do that, please.
He looks so bad, but it's also my son's birthday. You don't have to wish him a happy birthday because he's not in the chat. That's
66 on Saturday. I look good, eh?
Yeah, you look good. Not bad for a 70-year-old. Yeah.
Cool. Right, Johnny.
Good luck, everybody, this week, and we'll catch you all
next
week. And have a Merry Christmas when it comes. And we'll